and welcome to the next episode of We Know Plastics. Today we're going to be talking about Primex's quality processes and why that's important to our customers and our employees. I'm Kayla from the marketing department here in Primex, and I'm going to let my guests introduce themselves.
Hi, I'm Rob Wells. I'm the Director of Quality at Primex. Been at the company working on 27 years and been in this role for 15 now. And I help develop all the quality systems at all of our locations and support the top management any way I can.
Hi, my name is Andy Boger, and I've been with the company for about 12 years. And my primary responsibility is the quality control for our Richmond manufacturing site.
So Rob and Andy, happy to have you on our episode today so we can talk about quality. It's very important to what we do at Primex. Could you tell me a little bit about Primex's approach to quality and why it's so important to our success?
Sure. Primex started putting ISO quality systems in back in the mid 1990s and was one of the first companies to do so in our industry. And we kind of started it out putting it in one plant at a time. And so what it's helped us to do is determine best practice. So we got all this documented information, and they're all mature systems we have, including in the color houses and PDF as well. And so we're always on the forefront of what we need to get accomplished there as the standards change, as we have new employees come in, as we have new customer requirements come in. And Andy and I's job is to kind of stay abreast of that and making sure our customers are satisfied. So
it's an evolving process.
Yes, matter of fact, we expect next year for the ISO standard 9001-2015 to turn into the 9001-2026. So there's going to be some changes that will apply to all of our facilities, and we'll have to get all those implemented. And things like AI and other items that probably want to be, some of the new buzzwords and terms out there are going to be what we're going to have to implement into our quality systems.
So can you tell me a little bit about the specific processes or systems that Primex has in place to ensure product quality?
Yeah, Primex has a pretty extensive quality process from the beginning of our delivery of product all the way to the delivery of product to the customer. So those type of checks are pretty extensive, and we're put in place to make sure that we meet all the quality standards based on the customer's requirements. So we have lots of people trained, we have lots of layers of checks, and it's been pretty successful so far in the history of Primex.
Can you explain some of the standards or certifications that Primex has to comply with and why they're so important?
Sure. The ISO 9001 is kind of your baseline quality standard. It's the most popular standard in the world, matter of fact. It started over in Europe. I think there's 1 million or so of those those certificates that companies have achieved. We also have some other items because we're a custom house. So depending on what our customers' requirements are, we may have standards such as going into medical, food grade, automotive, packaging, or different bits of all of that. And we also have ISO 17025 lab, which is an A2LA accredited lab in Richmond, Indiana facility. We also have several plants. This may not be totally quality, but quality is involved, our ISCC plus facilities. We also have a plant that is HACCP certified, which helps us with our food grade customers. And we're really ready to change and do anything we need to based on what a customer's requirements are.
That's awesome. What types of inspections or tests are conducted throughout the manufacturing process?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think our process and the tests that we have can be broken down into about 3 different categories. And those are receiving inspection, our in-process inspection, and then our final inspection. And within those groups, there are lots of different tests that are conducted. And our company is obviously pretty vast as far as the creation of color that goes into the product. So they have a list of tests that they are conducting. And then, of course, our extrusion plants as well have a whole completely different level of tests that get conducted on a regular basis.
So how do you ensure that all of our employees understand those quality processes?
We have an extensive training process. We actually have the requirements built into each quality system we have. So we have a new employee orientation. So we not only do we have what the ISO requires, here's what the ISO standard's all about. We have job descriptions and skills acknowledgments for our employees to make sure that every job classification, that person's going to receive all the necessary skills for them to be able to do their job. We also have it into an LMS program, so we're trying to make everything, we're going from paper and trying to make it much more electronic, and we're updating as we speak on this. And I think this also allows auditors and folks to be able to audit and see this stuff remotely, as many audits are going, and it seems to work out well for us.
So can you tell me some of the core principles that are outlined in Primex's quality policies?
Yeah, our comprehensive company policy, which is what we would define our quality policy as, has about 10 major principles. And those principles go all the way from fulfilling the customer requirements and just committing to continual improvement. Those principles basically are a guide for our day-to-day operations to make sure that we're doing what we need to do to fulfill what the customer wants.
So speaking of the customer, how do you use customer feedback to improve Primex's quality processes?
Well, there's a couple ways. One, you're going to have customers when they send in their orders, there's going to be job requirements. So we'll take a look at those requirements, compare them to what our standard methods are, and whether we need to make any adjustments to our standard methods to make sure we get the customer's quality what they're looking for. So that's one way we're getting feedback. Obviously, we'll get that to the customer. They'll hear that. But also once a year, we send out a comprehensive customer survey. Send it to every customer. We got a variety of questions, 20 or 25 questions covering the whole gamut of the business. And we actually analyze that, and that's included in our management reviews, the analysis, and see what we need to do to improve ourselves.
So how does the team at Primex stay ahead of industry trends and incorporate new technologies into the quality process?
Well, it can be a challenge, but we are committed to understanding what's going on in the world around us, benchmarking other companies, and understanding what technologies out there that might fit within our processes. Some recent things that we've been looking at that we feel are going to be very beneficial would be the use of QR codes. We know QR codes have been around for a while, so it's not necessarily new. But when it comes to things like our document control and making sure that the operators and the people that are using our instructions on a day-to-day basis have the most recent and the right revision to make sure they're doing their job accurately, those QR codes can really help us by allowing them to retrieve that documentation quickly. So we're excited about those type of things. Other things that we've had recently related to technology would be vision systems. We're really looking into that, and they've helped us actually with some recent quality issues that we were struggling to overcome. But with the installation of those vision systems and that technology, we've been able to get on top of some quality issues and really get the customer the satisfaction that they deserve.
So why is the quality process that Primex has, why is that important to our customers, and what kind of benefits do they get from that?
Primex, all their quality systems are based on the ISO 9001 system. So when we put those in place, we also build our systems so they're consistent from plant to plant, and our customers can expect product, just like if you go to Arby's, Indianapolis, Indiana, you're going to have the same sandwich you could get in Nashville, Tennessee. So a customer has an expectation, and how we're consistent with that, and we include that in everything we do.
Excellent. So how does your team work to meet the specific needs that our customers have? Because our customers are so different, so they all have such different requirements.
Yeah, I think what Rob mentioned earlier, the first and foremost is that they know we're operating under the ISO 9001 standard. So they know they're going to get that as a base, right, for their quality, which is very attractive to most customers. But in other cases, the customer may require specific things, and we are a custom house, so we don't really have a set size or style of sheet. They're pretty much able to dictate what they want, and with that freedom, they can provide us a list of requirements that we would go through, review as a group through our contract review process, and then we can decide whether or not we have the capabilities to do that. And in most cases, we're going to do everything we can to make sure that we can meet their needs. So.
Excellent. Can you share any future goals that we have as an organization when it comes to our quality processes?
Well, I might have mentioned earlier, but the ISO 9001 system is going to be having a major revision in 2026. And so we'll be tasked how this is probably going to work. It's going to be 3 years to get all of your systems updated to up to the new requirements. So we have to get that standard, review it, interpret it, and figure out how that's going to affect each plant, and then implement the changes to our systems and make sure all employees are aware of what they need to understand and perform to meet these standards.
So if you could give our customers one message about the importance of quality and the quality processes we have here at Primex, what would it be?
I think it would be that quality is the heart of everything we do here at Primex. Our commitment to customers and what they are trying to accomplish and how they're trying to satisfy their customer is everything to us. And I know our group has lots of experience. I've only been here 12 years and I'm still a rookie. So the experience that comes with Primex allows us to give the customer the confidence that they need to make sure that they're going to get the quality product that they're looking for.
Thank you. So this is the end of our episode, We Know Plastics. I want to thank Rob and Andy for being on our episode today. If you have any questions or you want to reach out to us, visit us at www.primexplastics.com.